Hey everybody, it's Jordan with PDQ, and today we're going to go over a demo of PDQ Connect, which has a lot of the features that you see with PDQ Deploy and PDQ Inventory, only it works remotely because it does have agent-based usage, which for those that aren't all central in one location, this is a pretty useful option to help you keep your machines up to date and secure. With it being something that requires an agent, the first part is how do I get the agent? Right down here on the bottom of the screen, you have Download Agent Installer. If you click that, it's going to build an MSI for you that has all the information that your machine needs to check into your instance. Since it's an MSI, we know that silent parameters are /QN. It's going to be the same. So if you are sending it externally and you don't have a way to install it externally quite yet, you are going to have to either just send them and have them manually run it, and it will work just fine, or have some method where you can have them connect in VPN and get done that way. If they are local, you can just deploy out installer in the way you want. Since it is an MSI, like I said, all the silent parameters are known. I'd use PDQ deploy, but that's just because I'm a hell of a salesman. Overall with Connect, you got four main parts. You have devices here. These are all the machines that have checked in. Simple enough. Deployments, these are all the recent deployments that you have where you can see the success, whether it's worked or not, or what you've done. As you can see here with all of the 7-zip stuff, I've been doing prep work so I could show a demo around 7-zip. For packages, this is everything that's in the package library you might see with PDQ deploy, which is software that you can deploy automatically that we will update. We do the security check, make sure everything's fine. Makes it so you can do solid automation. You don't have to worry about it. You can just set it and forget it. You can also do your custom packages where if there's software we don't have, or if you're looking for a one-time pushing of a script, this is a perfect place to do that. Last place is automation, because no one likes to do anything manually. Set it once, have it run wherever you want to, and that's the way to go. And we'll just kind of go over each component here. As I indicated deployments, we're going to be doing 7-zip. So the first part we need to do is I came back up to devices, and we're going to build a group that has everything that needs a newer version of 7-zip. So I'm going to click on filter here, change it to software name contains. If it is software that is in our pre-built library, we have variables for you, so you don't have to go through and guess and find out. So I'm just going to go find 7-zip. So this is, at first, save as group. This is any software that contains 7-zip. We hit save, and you can see that there are 14 devices in there, which is mostly correct, but that's not quite there because we only want to know machines that have an old version of it. So I'm going to go back in and click on filters one more time. Add filter and software, and this time instead of name, we're going to go version, and we are going to go is less than, and it's the same thing. Since this is a software in our library that we update, there's going to be an automatic variable for the current version. So 7-zip. And we're going to update the group. And you can see we have 6 machines here. So out of the 14 that have 7-zip, 6 of our machines have an old version of 7-zip. So that's something that we want to update. So from here, you have a couple of options. You can hit deploy from this one, or you can come down to deployments and do the same thing. We're going to go deploy. We're going to choose the package that we want. In this case, we know it's 7-zip. And the devices that we want, I'm going to go down and select the group that I just built. And you see here we have previous versions. So the one on top is going to be the latest, down to all the different versions in case the software you have questions about or you need to stay back a certain amount. You can select an older version from there without needing to go and find a new installer. I'm not going to hit deploy on this one right away just because if I deploy it, we're not going to see the automation, and that's the part that I like right there. So in the automation, I'm going to come in here and delete the one that I pre-built because we're going to start over. All right, automation, we're going to go create automation, name it 7-zip. Obvious reasons, I guess. I guess we'll call it 7-zip automation just so there is something unique for it. Whatever your naming scheme is, that's up to you. For packages, it's the same thing. We're going to choose 7-zip. And right here, you see the version just says latest. So this is if a new version of the software comes out, we'll update all that for you. Your schedule will kick off, find everything new, and you don't have to worry about updating anything. If you do choose a specific one, you're hard locking your automation into that one. So it's just going to try that one version. So in this case, where we want to keep everything up to date, latest is what we want. Obviously, we want to do recurring just because this is all about automation. We want to not have to worry about 7-zip anymore. We just want it to install. All right, so I'm going to choose, we're going to say the June 30th, that's a Friday at 9 p.m. All right, and we're going to repeat this once every week. I mean, that seems like an awful friendly time to do this kind of automation. 9 p.m. is kind of questionable. If something goes wrong, you're going to get that alert and you're going to have to wake up and log in. So I'd maybe time that's a bit more reasonable for you. But for this example, this works perfectly. And the same part down here, we're going to choose and we are going to send that to 7-zip. So just like the one-time deployment, and a lot of it is the same, only this time it is going to run every Friday an update. If it's already installed, doesn't need it, that collection will be empty. You don't have to worry about it. If a new version comes out, that group will update and it will have all the new computers in there and it will update every machine to the latest version. And that seems pretty handy to me. The last part we wanted to go over is the packages. And we went over the pre-built ones, and you can go into any one of them and you can see all the steps that are involved in that one. You can see we stop the process, we uninstall the old ones, we install the new ones. Everything you need in there, it's done for you. You don't have to worry about it. If you're looking to build your own, it's a lot of similar processes. We're just going to come here and create a package, name it 6-zip. Way better than 7-zip. Version 12. All right. From there, we have the name. That doesn't matter. Whatever you're installing, obviously, you want to make sure it makes sense so you can find what you're looking for in the future. Over here, we have a couple of steps you can choose from. Install step, this is going to be all your installers, your MSIs, your EXEs. If you have something that's going to modify registry, it takes all those type of file types and it puts it out there. If it's an MSI, good news for you. Those parameters are known. We'll plug those right in for you. If it is an EXE or anything of that nature, you might have to go into that software and find out what the specific parameters are, and you can put those in right there, /silent for real. All right, and then down here, this last part is we have the success codes. 0 is the default, but say you're doing something like a Windows update where it has a specific code for this update's already been installed. It's not going to report back with 0, but it's going to report back with that number, which I didn't look up, but I'm going to 9475. This way, if it came back with that number and I guessed it right, hooray for me. If not, feel free to let me know. It's going to come back and see that number and it's still going to mark it as success because while it might not have done the install, that error code means that it is already installed and you're good to go. This next one is your run as local system. That's going to be the one 99% of the time. You're sending it out, the machine's going to install it. Logged on user, while used infrequently when you need it, is extremely valuable. This is for installs that are going to be user specific. Things like Apex packages, or let's say you have Chrome Enterprise installed, but you have employees that keep installing the local version of Chrome, and so you have the dual Chrome. Being able to run an uninstall as logged on user will let you uninstall specifically that Chrome while keeping Enterprise, making everything is uniform and within the parameters you set for your software. So logged on user, if you need to use it, just know it's there because it's valuable. Last part is error mode. Default, if there's an error, it stops. Easy peasy. The next one is if there's an error, continues. That'd be a case of if you're doing something that has a lot of modification files in there and you don't necessarily need to do something, or a file already has the value it's looking for, you can just have that report as an error and continue, and it'll just move on. You'll just report back as that one. And the last one is if you have an error that you're expecting an error and you wanted to note it as a success. Ultimately, it's the same thing. It's just on that one, it's instead of saying error at the end, it's going to say success if it's something you're looking for. That one's pretty uncommon, but it is there. The other steps, you have your PowerShell step. That's my favorite. PowerShell is kind of my thing. I do a lot of PowerShell in my day-to-day. The file copy step, pretty self-explanatory. If you need to copy over files or specific files, or say it's what's like a Windows Office where they have the update file where it needs the files over there to do the update. Stuff like that you can copy over. Reboot. And nested, this one's pretty cool. Nested, you can come in here and you can add all of the different packages that you might want. So if you have like a baseline, you can go back to 7-zip apparently, and then Adobe Air or Google Chrome. You can have all of those as nested packages, and it's just going to have one package for a schedule that will update all of those packages that you may have and be needing to use. So that one's pretty powerful for building grander scale ones. Install step for single install is just fine. That's pretty much everything for Connect. With Connect, I'd say you get everything you need for your remote employees to keep them update and secure. You have your Windows updates and software updates. We test it for you. We make sure nothing's bad. So I don't know, I'd give it a try for PDQ on Jordan.